The video you're about to see was recorded on April 29th, 2020. It was a live stream on YouTube, the first for Go Small, Live Large. It was a little flustered getting started, but once we got going, it was a great hour together with you, my audience. I really enjoyed myself. Covered a whole bunch of topics. The time points are down below. As you go through this, you can skip forward or skip backward and get the information you want. And sure appreciate giving a thumb up, subscribe. Let's get into it. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate this first time doing this. Not without some technical drama. Golly, maybe that's just the way it rolls. I'm used to being on your side of the camera, which is watching the other, so I've never done this before. So Texas, North Carolina, I'm in home base Florida, so thank you for tuning in tonight. This is the first of what I hope to have on a regular basis, maybe not every week, but every other week, a kind of a What's Up Wednesday. There is the way you guys communicate is the chat, so just type in some questions. I see some about the leak. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. So this is kind of funny. I'm in Lily, obviously. I am in my driveway at home base Florida. You guys can see that, and I've been working in the rig for the corporate job. I seem to be so much more comfortable in here than in the house. It's kind of bizarre. Illinois, Chicago, all right. Is that funny or what? So thank you for all that. So questions. So the type in your questions. We'll try and get to them. We'll roll for 45 minutes to an hour, however long you guys want to do this. 28 people. That is amazing. I'm going to take a screenshot because you guys are so amazing. This is just awesome. You guys made my night. Rough day at work today, so this was the highlight of the work. Arizona. I so love Arizona and Texas. So let's talk about the leak. So I just posted the video on the leak, roof leak, and it was really troubling. And then even more so is that it happened again. So they fixed it, and they repaired. They being Waits RV fixed it in the on the side window. They kind of replaced what I did, which was pretty goopy mess. You probably saw that on the video, and then I took it back. Well. So yeah, it was before Christmas, so we can go on our trip, and then after Christmas, brought it back to have the bedroom window resealed in a much more nice way. And everything was fine until February 2020. I was in Texas, huge rainstorm, and the ceiling leaked again. So again, I took it to a Googled RV repair center, not a Winnebago dealer. It was Pro RV. Near Arlington, Texas, and went to go see them. Again, it's amazing how not overly complicated repair, so I sort of get the same day service, but it sure helps to have a cat tethered in the rig and all my stuff in there, and they get it. And I was in and out in just a few hours, literally, and they fixed it again. It was a new break from what they could tell me. And I was trying to get some pictures of them, but they never really followed through on that, so I kind of get it. Who wants to put your work on YouTube, right? So the good news is that has held. ProFlex was the material they were using. That's the material that Waits used as well. And looking at the comments I've received from the leak video, including from the Ginger Walkabout, leaks are not uncommon. And you want to know the irony of this? We've got a roof in the leak in the roof in the house. So it's like, holy cow, it's roof leak month. Although the rig is fine now, but these things are not without issues. So my advice to you is two-part, well, maybe three-part. Number one, have a tube of silicone with you. in your toolkit. Number 2, check your seals, not only on top but on the windows. And if you can't get into a Winnebago dealer in a timely manner, if you follow the advice in the video, just look for an RV service center, and then you will give them a call, explain the situation, get an estimate, call your dealer, like I did with Mick at Winnebago Motorhomes in Rockford, and you can get that discussion going back and forth, and then just send them the bill. So let's kind of look for some of these questions. So hopefully that answers your question. It's a great one. But boy, let me tell you, certainly if you're living in it and you're miles away from home base and the water's coming in, it's really an unsettling feeling. Probably as bad as a flat tire, which I have not had yet. Don't want one of those either, but I would say those are about on the equal, except you can get stranded way more on with a flat tire, right? Let's see, questions. Pleasureway, nice job. Yeah, I'm really excited for you to hit the road as well. That's coming in from Black Oak. All right, Black Oak. No, I'm sorry, Scott Canavan. He's got the Pleasureway. Black Oak can't wait to get on the road in his Serenity, right? Serenity, nice job. Yeah, I'm a Travato fanboy. I love partnering with Embassy RV, but my thing is, gosh, the RV is just a tool. Pick the best tool for the job and get on the road. This is such a life-changing experience. I cannot tell you how my life has just been enriched, and you, each one of you, have no idea the impact you have on me in such a positive way. So here's Mike K has a question on the Tellaro from the RV show. We'd have to go look. I don't remember. It's been a while. I'm going to actually be trying to get into some of these competitive rigs and do some more analysis. I've got a note out to Thor to see if they can grant me some time. They're not being overly responsive, which is kind of bizarre. So stay tuned on that. 34 people. This is so amazing. You guys are awesome. It's so weird because there's this delay, and I know you can see me, hear me, but what I'm saying, you're probably seeing, I'm guessing, 10, 15 seconds later. So it is really a one-way road here, which is, so just type in your questions. Hey, we're going to be doing some Q&A live teleconference. You guys have seen these posted on my website. I got a whole bunch more I want to get posted on, and I really love those because it's two-way. So it's like a teleconference using Zoom, WebEx, if you're familiar with those. This is cool because you get notified that, hey, we're live. But if you can put those on your calendars, we're going to be doing a whole bunch more of those. We got one with Embassy RV on the 23rd, I think it is, of May. It's a Saturday. But I'm going to try and do those real time because I can get up to 100 people at once. And it's dialogue, both you and me in real time. It's much, I think it's kind of cooler. Because and we section off, and even if we have to go 90 minutes and then section off, it's 10 or 15 minutes for chassis, 10 or 15 minutes on Volta lithium and lithium in general, solar, and then 10 minutes on, so you block it off a little bit. We're going to try that. So let's see. Simply Sonora, you were a very frequent commenter. I really appreciate that. Is there any state that you loved and are planning to go back to this year? Yes and yes. Texas. I am dubbing myself an honorary Texan. I love Texas. I just can't get enough of Texas. And Arizona is right behind it. There's something about the cacti, the sunsets, the desert in Arizona that is just over the top cool. I've got a video that I'm putting together on Lost Dutchman State Park there outside of Phoenix. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. Verbally anyway. The first time I was there, they had, and this is just one of the crazy awesome benefits of this lifestyle that you just never know, the spontaneity, which I was never good at, is all around you. So I'm rolled into Lost Dutchman State Park, like on I don't even know, a Thursday or Friday. That Sunday, the park ranger was going to do a scorpion hunt. He was going to take a bunch of people out into the desert with your black light, and he went scorpion hunting. Wait till you guys see the video. It is extreme. It scared the crap out of me. And found scorpions as a group. There's probably 20 of us. And then I went back to camp. And I mean, there were, kind of that biggish to maybe that big. They filled a terrarium. There's probably 30 scorpions running around under a black light. It was the craziest thing. Wait till you guys see it. And I had my black light, went back to camp, and I'm like, well, just now I know what I'm looking for. I know how to do this. I went scanning the camp around the rig, went down to a ditch just a few feet literally from the rig, and it had to be half the size of this water bottle. I couldn't believe it. My skin crawled. It was so huge. Wait till you see the video. But again, I just love Arizona. I love Texas. Tennessee's pretty cool. Love Tennessee. It's all, that's just the great thing about it. You can go anywhere, do anything you want to do. 40 people now, and some likes too. Wow, you guys are great. Thank you. South Carolina, I have not been up the East Coast yet. I really want to get up there. No thanks to COVID, it's got a whole bunch of things derailed for a lot of people. My travel plans included, which is no big deal in the scheme of things, right? More questions. So thank you, Donna. You're in there a lot. I appreciate that. And it looks Florida Seto. I want to put an order in for Class B Embassy RV. Yeah, they are back on production. They've got a few chassis there, and boy, if you're serious about it, I would give Terry a call. I think it's $4,500 deposit to lock in your chassis. They're rolling in about 60 to 45 days is what Terry told us last time. And they're making deliveries. As long as the supply chain holds up, they are rolling out rigs. So maybe Ed, you can keep me honest on that. Ed's a frequent commenter, and he's joined the last 2 Embassy RV live Q&A teleconferences. So I really love the Embassy RV, and I'm super excited to go up there and spend some time in one, like in a few nights overnight. My issue with Embassy is just a floor plan that doesn't suit my lifestyle. I just like the permanent bed. Well, permanent beds and back, permanent table. So maybe we'll work on that with Terry over time, but they've just been a great partner, and you guys and gals have been just a great audience for them, and have really taken a shine to them. Other questions? So Mike K says, Travato or Tellaro? I got to spend some more time on the Tellaro. I was really impressed with it for a number of reasons. The galley, I think Winnebago needs to update this galley really badly. I think the color schemes, they need to be updated to be much more European, contemporary looking. There was some ducting that was pretty cool. Some of the quality, though, was pretty flimsy in my opinion. Like, I'll move this up, you guys can see it. So this is underneath the cabinet, right? It's pretty solid wood, wood in quotes, but you can't move it. And on the Tellaro, this exact same cabinet position, you moved it. It was kind of that really super, 3/16 thin, thick plywood. Paneling looking stuff, and that to me was just a super turnoff. And but I was really impressed by many things. It didn't have a Volta system. I'm pretty smitten with Volta, and I would need to know more about that other system. It was Master Volt, maybe one of you guys know it off the top of your head, but at least it was a different floor plan. They were trying something new. I liked the way they did the bed in the back. Really liked the galley. If you saw the video, I actually cut it out because I couldn't confirm that what they do have is here they have the kind of the multiplex wiring system, right? It goes right here. And then there's a kitchen cabinet behind it, and that's where the Truma control is. My Truma control is right here, which is great because you're, turning on the heat and the hot water and you're adjusting it. But their Truma control is at the back of a cabinet in the over the stove. And unless the multiplex wiring overrides the controls itself, you have to actually move stuff out of your way in your cabinet to turn on the hot water. I can't believe they would do that. But there's just some things that need to be investigated further. But I was pretty impressed overall. Yes, I want to come to North Carolina. I wanted to get up to Virginia, do some of the Civil War stuff. I'm just a huge history fan. God, I'm telling you, if you're into history, if you're into nature, if you're not in an RV already, I got to ask what's holding you back, because it is the most real way to experience nature. I so much more enjoy waking up in Lily my Travado than I do the house, because I just feel like I'm in nature versus cocooned in a house. And the same with history, rolling into places, learning about history, knowing nothing about it or some elements of, and then standing in front of the cannon that was, the shot that started the Texas Revolution against Mexico back in 1835 or something like that. It's giving me goosebumps just thinking about it. I mean, just the amount of history. People say, hey, well, you want to go up down to Mexico? And I'm like, there's so much to see here. Goodness, no, not right now. Other questions? Let's see. Thank you, Donna. Audience Angels. Yeah, I've actually stayed in quite a few folks' driveway. It's the best. It's one of the coolest things about this, right? And when I was watching some of the Russos and some of their stuff, I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if someday somebody invites me to their driveway and we have a glass of wine and Lily, and then we have, coffee in the morning, and it's come true. It's just the craziest thing. Look at this, 47 of you crazies on here. Nothing else going on tonight, huh? Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. I'm Crispy says, hey, welcome to Texas always. I'm just loving Texas, all parts of it. We've been kind of sort of toying with buying some property, in case this whole thing didn't work out in Florida. This is some place to go, the Texas Hill Country outside of Fredericksburg. It's pretty expensive, but just to get a couple acres with some a well would be really awesome. I just love Texas. Northern California, yeah, I would love to go back. I haven't really spent any time in Northern. I did in Southern California, and it was pretty exhausting. I got to tell you, the traffic, the gas prices, holy cow. I guess it's come down quite a bit. It's about $2.50 a gallon, which is where it's been everywhere else in the country except Illinois, maybe New York. Around here in Florida, on the West Palm Beach area, it's $1.50 a gallon now. Those poor guys in the oil gas industry. But yeah, I would love Northern California. First, it's really mild temperature. And I like Southern California because there was 2 presidential museums, the Reagan and the Nixon. So again, history. I was a graduate high school in '83, I think it was. So the '80s and the late '70s, '80s for sure, were very vivid to me. And walking through the Reagan Museum, I just had flashbacks from a long time ago. Yeah, Chris, Luxor FL, that doesn't stand for Florida, right? That's Luxor Front Lounge. I think that's a Pleasure Way, correct me if I'm wrong. I think any place where you have a permanent, for me, because I have a corporate job on the road, still, thankfully, I think any place for me that has a permanent table and workspace is key. And in that rig, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's kind of in the space right here. You'd use the cab seat to access it, and then the bathroom, I think, was behind. I think that was a floor plan. But yeah, I found those to be innovative and pretty impressive, which is awesome. Yeah, Ed's right here. So so ProMaster and Sprinter. Ed, keep me honest here, but I think it's kind of an Amazon sellout on both of those chassis. Do I have that right? I think I do. But Ford is really pumping up the giving the Sprinter a run for their money here, and they're made in America, whereas the ProMaster is made in Mexico. I think the Sprinters are made on the East Coast someplace now. I might be wrong on that, but yeah, everything is really tight chassis wise right now. New York City. Oh my God. Hi, Jacob. Wouldn't it be cool? So this is just me thinking out loud crazy. We tried to do this in New Orleans, and we actually had Cheryl Charming, who's one of my audience angels, help out with this. We were trying to find a parking spot in the New Orleans French Quarter by all the bars and stuff, but the parking signs were so bizarre. So we didn't actually pull it off in the quarter. It was just on the street, the main drag on the west side of it, street camp there. Which is cool, 3 blocks into Bourbon Street. But New York City, wouldn't it be cool if you could find the single? There's probably only one parking spot that would be accessible overnight. A block or 2 from Times Square. Wouldn't that be cool? Camp the night at downtown Manhattan, just a block off Times Square. I would love to do that. That would be so awesome. Where would you want to go? I mean, what's the craziest place you would want to go that just is like off the charts bizarre. One of my favorite memories, I did a video about it, it was a portion of a video, was downtown Chicago. This is actually a parking tip, overnight parking tip. So there's not really any RV parks in Chicago proper for sure, and the nearest KOA is way out, about 90 minutes. So RV specific spots are really hard to find. McCormick Convention Center there allows big rig parking. If you're headed to Chicago, check that out. I have not stayed there. The Keep Your Daydream team, I think, did a video on that, but if you search McCormick Center in Chicago, you can probably do a little research there and find that. But what I found, certainly in a Class B, my hot tip is find parking using Spot Hero or Park Whiz. And it's an app on your phone, and you find sites, and you can literally find overnight parking in downtown Chicago for $20. I did it. I can't tell you what a rush it is to kind of go bar hopping in our old hometown. So I knew where I was, so it was pretty safe. And go to bed, wake up on a Saturday morning, and I literally took a shower in Lily just because I could, and went out for coffee, and went to the Apple store for some Apple store education sessions, walked back to the rig, made lunch. It was just the most surreal thing. So I'd just love to know where you would love to just do something so weird like that, right? New York City has got to be up there. Let's see what else you guys want to know about. $2.19 for gasoline. Yes, finally, right? Northern California or Southern California was one place was actually $5 a gallon. I couldn't believe it. Pleasureway, thank you. 49 people. We might get 50 people. Wouldn't that be great? That's just so exciting. Isolated spot overlooking Grand Canyon. Yeah, the nature. Boy, if you've seen my boondocker or boondocking video, I've got to try that again. It was a lot of fun. It was really scary, but it'd be a lot more fun if you had a couple of you with me. We could do a campfire if that made sense, and a couple rigs and like a circle the wagons thing, right? I think that would be so awesome. Just enough space so you could be private, but I think a few rigs there would have really helped my nervousness because I was really, really crazy. Just wondering how folks are doing if you, I put a survey out. It's been 3 weeks ago, whether or not this whole situation has changed your RV plans. About 100 people responded, and about 40% said it's really not changing their plans. They still plan to move forward with a RV purchase, which is great. And I actually kind of expect, let me ask you this. Do you think going through an airport as a traveler to go someplace like New Orleans for a long weekend is going to get easier or tougher? I think it's going to be horrendous, and it's going to take a long time to figure out. If you remember pre 9/11, how easy it was to get through an airport, and it's gotten much better, of course, but what a nightmare it was for those first couple years after it, right? Hello, airports, right? And maybe even hotel rooms. So I think certainly Class B RVs, if you don't have a big posse with you, dogs, kids, otherwise, and you can manage yourself in a small space like this, I think Class B sales is going to be really hot. Maybe a B plus. The Navions and the Views and of that size, I think are going to be really hot because traveling by traditional means, certainly in the continental U.S., assuming you don't mind driving a day or two, I can't wait to see what happens. I think it's a net positive. And Terry at Embassy RV, we're in the same line of thinking. There is and RVs in general, I think could be pretty powerful. Yeah, Ed's saying the sprinters come from the Carolinas. I thought that was true. So Tom asks about Embassy RVs. Are the cabinets all dark? No, I think he's got 3 color schemes. Kind of the black, a medium gray, and then white. He might have other colors available. Yeah, Donna's like, I'm not flying. Yeah, getting on a plane these days, even before all this, it just had no interest anymore. It's just funny how your priorities change. It's funny, speaking of priorities, I could run there and show you guys the car. So I bought it was a 2013 Mercedes AMG Coupe. AMG is the kind of the performance engine and suspension of Mercedes, and it's a C class, so it's the small. The 4-doors are really popular. The coupes are pretty rare, but it was a really expensive sports car. I took it on the track, and it was like my baby. You know, I think it's been driven by Kyle maybe 5 times, my dad once, and that's it. It's got 40,000 miles on it, sitting in the garage. I did a bunch of upgrades to the suspension or to the wheels and tires, and some carbon fiber stuff. So her name's Pearl. Pearl looks really hot, and I parked, a mile from the store I was going in, so it didn't get any door dings. And my pride and joy, and still was until I started this whole RV journey. And man, really within 6 months, my whole priority pivoted, and I'm like, I could sell that car, probably get 40 grand for it, and that would allow me a year on the road in Lily. Let's sell the car. That's just how your priorities change. And yeah, airports are going to be hell, roads of life. I totally agree. 55 people. Look at this, the double nickel. You guys are amazing. But yeah, so Lily's in the driveway, Pearl's in the garage, and now she's parked in front of the washer and dryer, and I actually have a bunch of clothes that came out of the dryer on top of the hood of Pearl, which would have been like a screaming match beyond belief 3 years ago. Now I'm like, yeah, let's go wash Lily. Lily needs a bath. Let's see, Jane, are you gonna plan any meetups this year? Yes. I'd say in 2 ways. So we want to have some meetups with Terry. He's very serious about that. I want to do meetups across the country. Once I have a little better understanding of what the situation is going to be like in terms of travel, I'm kind of hoping, like I'm sure you are, by end of May that things will be loosened up. The RV parks that I'm watching the KOAs are pretty much open, although the public rooms, like the swimming pool and even the bathrooms might be closed, the gaming rooms, etc. But the parks are open. So yeah, I got a lot of plans for meetups, and not just related to RV shows, but just otherwise. I just have had such great joy, meeting you and doing small tours of our rigs. They can do the big giant thing with the Winnie Bees groups and RV shows, but they're it's like the small groups of 4, 5, 6, 10 rigs, or even just come for an open house, just tour Lily. Let's see what's going on there. Hey Marcus, what's up? Marcus will always have a special spot in my heart because he is Mr. Emoticon, and I had to call you out a couple of weeks ago, right, Marcus? Because you sent me commented on a YouTube video, 0 emoticons. I'm like, dude, what's up? Did I make you mad? There. Other questions? Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just having a ball. So let me ask you guys. So again, because you have zoomed in here tonight, I have a hot video for Volta coming up on Thursday, I think, this week. We're actually land travel. So it's so much more relaxing, right? And I'm going to do a video also. I've almost got it put together. 5 reasons you want to take the back road. If you get off the highways, it's so much better. And brown signs, the brown, national park, tourist information are your friends. I've had some of the most amazing weekends in Illinois. Wow, the bugs are coming in. Let me turn this light down just a little bit. You guys can still see me. That one. It was the what the hell? Buffalo Bill Museum. So I saw the sign Buffalo Bill Museum. I'm like, well, I kind of know him, but I know nothing about him, right? So I literally pull off the road, 10-minute drive to the Buffalo Bill Museum. Turns out the museum itself was a harvest host site, and there's some great distilleries up on top of the hill. It was on the Mississippi River. I had the best 48 hours because I saw a Buffalo Bill sign. Learned a lot about Buffalo Bill. Got to climb through a paddle wheeler that was an authentic paddle wheeler, now in a glass building. drank some amazing spirits, met some really cool people. Just again, it's just the traveling. It's such an amazing country we live in. We're so lucky. Other question. What else is on your guys' mind? I don't have 1,000 Trails membership. I don't really know much about it, to be honest with you. I just like I guess my gut reaction is I just want the flexibility. Harvest Host was my #1 recommendation for last year. I don't know what it's going to be this year. But if you look at the Harvest Host sites available, you can do so much and be so flexible between some street camping, Walmart, Boondockers Welcome, Harvest Hosts, a few KOAs or other RV parks here and there. I just want maximum flexibility, and I'm not sure if that is provided in a 1,000 Trails. And I really don't want to sign up for a big membership because I don't have to. I guess I don't know. Why do you think that's such a great deal? Let me know. Let's see what else. Big thank you, Jane. Big bonfire chat. Have a glass of wine, right? I'm really getting. So some of my goals this year. If you saw my video from January 2019, I had dreams and aspirations of having T-shirt merchandise and having the bugs are coming in, having 10,000 subscribers, and it was a whole list of stuff. It's a great video. It was a lot of fun to make. But my goals are still the same. They're just prioritized differently. I'm not trying to get a million subscribers on here. Make some money, yeah. Embassy's helping that a little bit. I got some other irons in the fire. But it's really about how can I help people get their lives changed. The Russos, Keep Your Daydream, Driving and Vibin', who else? The RV Lifestyle, the Wendlands. They're really the ones that clued me in on this. And I just, on their shoulders I stand. And are you familiar with the peak-to-peak principle? So the peak-to-peak principle is pretty cool. So there's a peak, right? P-E-A-K. So you climb that peak, and from that peak you get a peak, P-E-E-K, of the next vantage point. And every time I climb a peak, and probably you too, you get a different vantage point. And what I've learned is I rolled all this stuff out. Thank you again, Russo's, Wendlands, etc. It's got me a whole new juice on life, and now I hope I'm able to inspire some that are to do things differently. To go, I say go grab your RV freedom. To go experience things, and I don't think you have to wait till retirement. I would love to see people in their 30s doing this, 40s doing this, and then maybe take a few years off, buy a house, whatever. But if you got the means and the funds and the health, and do it at any time in your age. But I got to tell you, lives change is my true measurement this year. I've told Winnebago that. I've told Volta that. I've told Embassy RV that. I need to get my numbers up here. Because to me, if I could help change 12 lives this year to experience what I've experienced in the last year, that is just so cool. And that's what this is all about, really. And you guys, you feed me so much energy. You'll never know how much energy you guys feed me. I had a really hard day at work today and was clearly a little flustered with this YouTube live thing. It is not as easy as I thought. But once I saw you guys, I'm like, I've totally forgotten my job fatigue and my frustration, and so thank you. What else on your mind? A bobblehead Hall of Fame? No way. There's a spam museum in Minnesota, but I was not aware of a bobblehead Hall of Fame. That would be creepy, I think. I don't know. I'll have to seek that out. Yeah, I got to get up to Michigan. So this is kind of funny. Thanks, Van. Look, we're at 58 people. That's so amazing. You guys are just warming my heart. Yeah, so here's the deal. So when I leave Florida next month, I'm going to go up through the center of the country again and get into Chicagoland. Got to deal with some rental issues. Going to do a bunch of stuff with Embassy RV. I have a hard date. August 15, Kenny Chesney concert in Detroit, Michigan. Now I'm expecting that, unfortunately, to be canceled, but that's my hard date to be in the Michigan area. I'm going to try and do some stuff with Volta as well, but I want to spend some time and get to Buffalo, New York. My old boss at Apple lives there, and I'm hoping to get to see him. So yeah, that whole area of the country, I haven't been in the RV yet. The Northeast for fall would be amazing, right? And then come down the East Coast for the holidays, and then kind of go again. It's yeah, how are the bugs getting in? That's fun, Tom. So there's these little tiny natty looking things, and the screen is pretty dense. What they do is they crawl around the edge because there's kind of an open space. I would try and show you, but I don't think it would come through very well. So if they're really clever bugs, they kind of come in through the, because bugs keep crawling until they get what they want, right? So if I didn't have the bug screen in, it'd be a swarm in here. So that's why I don't have these lights on, because this attracts them even more so, right? You can see a couple of them in here. So that's why they're getting in. Not overly bad, but I actually keep all your guys' recommendations. I have them in a list on my iPad, and I literally look at this when I roll into an area, see how fast I can find this, and places to visit, and I have them organized. This is going to be weird because this is like a 15-second delay. So I have them organized by state. Let me do it this way. It'll be a little easier. So organized by state, and then over here I put the recommendations. And I would love to know that. So you can go to my email address, gosmalllivelarge@gmail.com, and send me those, or there's the form on my website, gosmalllivelarge.com, and you can fill that out. But I take all of your advice to heart. And let me show you this. This is kind of brand new. You may or may not have seen this, because again, it's a YouTube channel, so the camera's on me, but I really want to focus it where it should be, which is everywhere else but me. I didn't do this to be a star. I'm certainly not a star. But what I want to do is show you on my website now, I'm actually calling out your recommendations. So if you go to, I think it's Get. Hopefully you can see that right here. Audience recommendations. So I'm actually posting these now. I've just started this in the last few weeks, but I'm going to categorize these, and as this builds out over time, the recommendations you guys give to me, I'm bouncing back out to the audience. I am no genius at this. I'm just living it real time, full time, and learn as I go, and that's what we do here. We learn, we share, and that's what this is about. So hopefully you guys can see that. Looks like it's not showing up. But go to my website. It's under Get, and you can see audience recommendations. There's some juicy ones in there already. So check that out. 60 people. Look at you. You guys are crazy. This is so awesome. Yeah, Anton is going like, wish they built Class Cs. We'll see. He's just super set on the B market. He says it's the best educated RV buyer is the Class B. I would agree with him. You folks are a big part of that. I think it's the one that's growing the most. If you look at the units by sale, just for a number of reasons, the compactness, the gas mileage, if you can deal with less stuff, and the nimbleness, you can have it as a daily driver, which is pretty cool. So it just helps spread out, why have an RV to start with. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. Wow. Get your new Avion coming in next month. That's so awesome. Congratulations. Well, that's very sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's really cool. Changing lives. See? That's pretty awesome. I get no money from Winnebago, and when I do something with some money associated with it, I'm pretty transparent about that. Certainly Embassy RV, my paid partner. I'm going to start doing some more. In fact, I've got is my bottle back here? It's in the garage. A new chemical product that I've tried that I really like. They have an affiliate program, so I'll be real transparent about that. You as an audience member should know about that. because it might bias things a little bit, right? And it's probably why it irritates some of you. You know, I do a lot of this stuff with Embassy RV, and I'm clearly in a Winnebago. So what's up? I think that's actually kind of cool that I can talk about, you know, what I like, maybe don't like about the other guys, and, you know, stay true to my mission, which is to learn and share. So yeah, it's funny. So let me ask you this. There was one of you I had an email exchange with. It seems to me that the amount of RV content on YouTube has really gone down the last, in my mind it has. Have you noticed that? I'm just curious. Certainly in the Class B space, there's a few of them out there, but I'm just wondering, you know, if you've noticed anything like that as well. Jane, I don't quite understand. Oh, Luke. Yeah. So yeah, let's do a Luke update, then we'll kind of wind this down here in a few minutes. So Luke, he's not in here. He's in the house, but so he went full time with me, and I got a couple of great videos, particularly a cat litter box video coming up. That was actually a viewer that I met in Palm Springs, so Southern California. Actually, Palm Springs is beautiful. Is a beautiful area. There's a KOA campground there that was really cool, just outside the Joshua Tree National Park. So Luke's been with me full time probably for 6 months now. I think it was last August or September. But he arrived in the rig with me with some sores. It turns out he is super allergic to mosquitoes. Being in Florida, outside, not great. And he's got a really hypersensitive histamine system. You know, he gets allergic so easily off these things. And he had this hot spot that we couldn't really get under control. I actually saw a picture of him in December of last year, 2019, and it was literally less than the size of this, probably half the size of my AirPod case. And what he does, he just keeps licking and licking and licking and licking, and it grew in size. And then he had a bladder issue at the Tampa Super Show in January 2020, and we got it stopped to a point where he was okay. But then when I got to Texas about 3 weeks later, he actually had a bladder blockage due to crystals. Apparently it's a big thing with cats because of the kind of food we ate. Probably my fault. I was feeding him too much people food. Turns out he likes jerky, he likes goldfish crackers, he likes popcorn. You know, he's a dog, right? So cat dog. And so I learned my lesson, and he's in the vet overnight for about 3 days. And he had a catheter. Can you imagine a cat with a catheter? Good Lord. So the poor guy came out of there with a cone, and they didn't really remedy the sore on his side. It was on this side. And now it was, you know, really big. And still, 4 vets later, nobody wanted to address this side licking thing, which turned out to be just this hypersensitivity. And I found a vet in Guntersville, Alabama. This guy spent more time with me talking about Luke and his situation than all of the 5 vets over the previous 12 months put together. And what he did is he literally scraped all this stuff off that had been, not really an infection, but just this like inflammation. He just wouldn't quit licking it. And he scraped it, and he kind of cut the skin, he sewed the skin back together, 26 staples, and a bunch of medicine for sensitivity and infection and a whole bunch of stuff. And so that was our last major stop with the cone. The good news is the cone came off last weekend, and he's been fine. There's just some of that residual, but overall, I'm not sure who's more happy, Luke with no hat or Scott. Because let me tell you, when the hat is on, that is a tough thing to sleep with. And my sleep pattern totally interrupted because it's like a big shovel. So cats, you had to take the litter box lid off, and you know they go potty and they want to sniff, so they know where to put this.
It's 8 o'clock.
Put the litter right, and so that the cone was a big shovel, so they had litter everywhere. It was just it was exhausting. So the good news is he's survived it, and he's much happier. And he can't wait to get back on the road. He's in here literally with me in the rig every workday, working, sitting right by me, and he's just having a blast. So I know, poor Luke, right? How about poor Scott? Good Lord. No, I'm just kidding. So Stealth is talking about the content slowdown. Yeah, you might be right. So you may have noticed that I've actually just turned on monetization for the videos. It was kind of my intention long term, and I did it purposely not to do it because there's other ways I was going to generate some business income out of this. Embassy RV being part of that. I didn't want you guys to be the product, but you know, the way things are going, I just need every dime that's available to me potentially. And I've learned that, you know, if you use the word that is in the news a lot, YouTube treats your content, because it listens. YouTube, the algorithm listens to the words, and you are that video would be instantly, at the very least, partially demonetized, if not totally demonetized, by using those key words that are in the news so prevalently today. So there's a whole nother ecosystem around this that I'm learning about, but it's been fascinating. But yeah, it's been interesting. I just haven't seen, maybe my vantage point has changed. So I kind of look at my old RVers, and you know, the Vanlife people like Eamon and Beck, they're some of my favorites, and Trent and Alley, and they are really good storytellers. So they keep me tuned in. But I'm just not doing the gratuitous, you know, scantily clad babe over the front bumper washing the wheel. I'm just not going down that path. I don't really have one anyway. But well, hey, we're just at the top of the hour. I want to appreciate and say thank you so much to each and every one of you. We're going to do these more often. What's Up Wednesdays? Come with your questions. Watch for those next dates. I think I got it figured out. We'll see how this rolls. I didn't even record this now that I'm thinking about it. And that's okay too. Watch for the live teleconferences. I probably enjoy those more at this point, just because it's two-way. This is really one-way, which is cool. It's cool, but I love the interaction back and forth in real time. So again, you guys just warm my heart, each and every one of you, boys and girls out there, and thanks for being, you know, part of my juice that keeps me going during these horrendous times. Hopefully you're fine, and your RV plans haven't changed dramatically, except to get on the road. Because if the next pandemic is something you get it and you die, man, don't you wish you would have been parking in New York City or edge of the Grand Canyon, or having the burros run you over in the middle of the dark, right? So with that, I say thank you. Good night. Wish you to live happy, live free. You know the rest. See you guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you.